Welcome everybody to this mindset session. My name is Anthony, and we're going to be discussing whether or not you wish to take the blue pill or the red pill. Now, who doesn't know what I'm talking about? Right, so 20 years ago there was a movie called The Matrix. Do you remember The Matrix? Yeah, that's right. And you remember Neo? Yeah. And you remember Morpheus? And there was this wonderful scene where Morpheus was sitting in a seat like this saying, "Hey Neo, do you want to take the red pill or the blue pill? Blue pill, you can go back to oblivion, and the red pill, you'll find out what's really going on, but there may be complications." And if you remember, Neo did take the blue pill, and the rest, as they say, is history. So today I'm going to talk to you actually about something called Raja Yoga, and which is really quite a red pill. And I want to, if possible, tell you all you need to know about the BKs and everything that they teach in 19 minutes. And if we have any luck at all, we can do some emergency meditation. So, who here has never come across the Brahma Kumaris and the Global Retreat Center ever before today? Well, great, welcome. This fantastic, good day to come and visit us. It's a nice place, isn't it? And the vibes are good. And has everyone had at least one ice cream today? Huh? Not yet. Well, you've got to have one. I think it's quite good. I haven't had one yet. I never have any money. I'm hoping you'll give us one. I don't know. But anyway. So, let's get right into it, because we don't have any time. This is really speed work. Okay, now, one of the things I'd like to say, not very many of you know me very well. Some of you do. I recognize some faces. But those of you who don't know that I don't know you. But what I can tell you is that I know exactly the formula by which you live. And I can sort of almost, I can read your mind. Oh, you don't. So one of the things I have to warn you is that I would really appreciate it if you didn't believe a word I say. Okay? Really, seriously, please don't believe a word I say. But what I would ask you to do is test against your own life experience and your own feelings about what's going on, etc., to see whether what I'm saying makes sense. And of course, if it makes sense, then you may be able to take it away with you and do something with it. If it doesn't, you just, get your next ice cream. No harm done. It's only 20 minutes, right? So, okay, I know the way you are living life. And in fact, I'm going to tell you the fundamental formula for life on the planet, and every single person lives by this formula. And you're not going to have to do an analysis of your whole life to tell whether or not I'm telling you the truth. You can actually test whether what I'm going to say is correct or not on the basis of your experience right here, right now. Okay? So now, I'm now going to reveal to you the fundamental formula for life, which is pretty good value when you think about how much you paid. And when you go home tonight and your loved ones or friends say to you, "Oh, what do you do with yourself today?" you can tell them, "Oh, I learned the fundamental formula of life." Now, the problem with this formula for life, remember, the one by which every single person on the planet, including you, is living by, I'm afraid it's the wrong formula. And so let me now reveal to you the fundamental formula for life. Here it is. Ready? Everyone's awake? Because you don't want to miss this. Okay, here it is. What's going on? So how do I feel? That's it. That is how you are living right now. So on one end of the spectrum, what's going on? My goodness, this guy Anthony's brilliant. I can't believe there's an amazing lecture in this place. Oh, I'm going to sit here forever. Or on the other end of the spectrum, God, this guy's boring. He's a blithering idiot. I've got to get out of here. Let me find a polite way of just getting away. So somewhere in there, I hope more towards the former end, you are sitting. And I noticed that some of you are waving your program around. Yeah? And presumably you're waving your program around not to strengthen your wrist, but because you are hot. So this is a clear example of what's going on. So how do I feel being remediated? Because if you think about your entire life, that is to say, the job you have, the friends you have, the shape you're in, the car you drive, the house you are living in, everything, the government you tried to get into power, etc., 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 all of it is based on what's going on. So how do I feel? What we're trying to do all the time is organize and orchestrate our lives such that we get feelings created within us that are surprisingly few. And I'll reveal to you the 5 feelings available to the human race. And if you get all 5, you get a 6th result. So let's see whether you agree with me. Okay, the first thing that we're all after, peace of mind. Who said that? Are you a plant? Do I know you? Peace of mind. Yeah, who here doesn't want peace of mind? Huh? Who here doesn't want to love and be loved? Yeah? Peace, love. Who here doesn't want to be happy? Who here doesn't want to feel fulfilled? Peace, love, happiness, contentment. And who here doesn't value very, very highly what I should call authenticity? You know, just do a little analysis of everyone you dislike in this planet. And you'll find that to a very high degree, the reason why you don't like them is because they're not real. So actually, we really value authenticity or purity. I'll give you another example. If I have 2 rings, one 10-karat gold, one 24-karat gold, which one do you want? I think I know which one you choose. Yeah? We like things to be authentic. So peace, love, happiness, contentment, and purity or authenticity. And if we have that, like the right-handed fickle finger of fate, pure destiny, we find ourselves self-empowered. So you could say that the 6 big things, peace, love, happiness, contentment, purity, and power. And all we do all the time is try to organize and orchestrate our lives such that we will get peace, love, happiness, contentment, purity, and power. And guess what? Sometimes it doesn't happen, right? And what we do is fix it, right? You know, you get in a bad relationship, you leave the relationship or whatever it is, and, you know, whatever. Haven't got enough money, go out and get an extra job, whatever. But, and I'm just looking around the room, I think some of you are old enough to know that sometimes you can't do anything about it, right? And this happens a lot in relationships, money, health. In fact, right now, who here doesn't have at the back of their mind some surreptitious little thought that's not very positive about the state of the environment or the economy or world politics and terrorism, etc., etc. So there's all these things that are kind of like the sword of Damocles over our heads, and it's no wonder that the human race is sick. More heart disease per capita than there ever has been, more cancers for sure than there ever have been, more everything that there ever has been. Has anyone here ever been angry? Been freaked out a bit? Yeah? I mean, actually, the reason why you probably came here was because, you know, peace in the park, blah, blah, blah. I think I'll come here and feel better. Well, guess what? That is the old formula. Come and visit the BKs and feel better. This is tricky stuff. In fact, I'm now going to reveal to you what I used to do, it's the operative words there, before I entered the monastery. I was an advertising man. Now I've lost all my credibility with you. I'm so sorry. However, and I used to work for a big company called McCann Erickson, and our big client was Coca-Cola. And of course, all of you know that things go better with Coke. Get it? So, you know, the advertising people, anyone who's involved in the economy, anyone actually who's involved in anything, is always working with this formula. What's going on, so how do I feel? All doctors exist such that they can help you change the formula so that the result is, I feel good. The accountants live this way. The politicians are doing it. Everyone's in the game. Your parents, the first time they ever offered you a rattle, were encouraging you to operate under this formula. And the formula, I'm afraid, is the formula of the slave. because what's going on is what's driving the feelings inside. And of course, when I've got it all going for me, I feel like a king, no problem. But, as you know, when something goes wrong, not so good. And then we have to take some extra special drugs. You know, could be heroin, could be whiskey, could be Raj Yoga, you know, could be... Really, I mean, everything actually is a drug, because it is the formula of the addict. It's the formula of the slave. And so, now normally I would take about 2 hours to tell you all this, but I'm going to very quickly reveal to you the correct formula for life. So when you go home tonight, you'll be able to say, well, dear, I learned the bad formula, the one by... But don't worry, I've got the correct formula. So are you ready for it? Now, I do recognize that I'm using the word formula a lot. And so some people might be a little bit frightened by that word because it's slightly mathematical. Is anyone here sort of slightly allergic to mathematics? Me too. I actually can't stand it. I failed my A-level. I shouldn't have taken the A-level. It was the only one offered. I'm kind of old. So all you need to do, though, is have very basic algebra consciousness. Now, I'll just tell you what algebra consciousness is. I don't know whether you remember when you took your first algebra lesson. The teacher went up to the blackboard, or whatever sort of board it was, and drew the letter A on the board. And you thought, oh, yeah, algebra, A, yeah, I get it. Pretty good. At least that's what I thought. But it all started getting a bit wobbly when she then wrote a B. Algebra, okay. And then the wheels really fell off when she said A equals B, right? And so you just got to be up for that. A equals B, remember, algebra. And then what she did after that, this is the big thing, is that she took the A and took the B. If A equals B, then B equals A. That's the first lesson in algebra. You know, you can move things around. So have that consciousness in mind as I'm going to now reveal to you the correct formula. Now, by correct, of course, it's only correct if you think it's correct, but it's the formula not of the slave. What's the opposite of the slave in this context? It's the formula of the free person. It's the formula actually of the king. Interestingly enough, we teach here something called Raja Yoga. In Indian languages, Sanskrit and Hindi, Raja means king, right? Of course, you know that. And yoga means connection. So it's the connection of the king. So just to know this formula and live this formula will immediately render you a totally perfect Raj Yogi. And you will then be able to take up the position on the stage and start spouting. So, are you ready for it? You sure? Okay, here it is. Do you remember what the old formula was? Okay, remember now. So, the new formula is, drum roll, just going to check my time. I've got about 5 minutes left. Good. The new formula is, quite simply, how do I feel? Now what's going on? That's it. And of course, if you've only ever been living by the first formula, the only answer you can give when asked the question, how do I feel? That is to say, at my origin, which is to say, who am I? The only answer you can give is, I don't know. And so obviously, a very good first step is to reacquaint the self with the self. Now, I could tell you, look into your eyes like a yogi, and I could say, you are a being of peace and love and power. And of course, you'll be going, in fact, that guy really is right now. No, I'm not. You know, I'm freaked out, man. Whatever. But I would say immediately, no, you are. You've just forgotten. So what about the concept of just taking a little bit of time and energy and effort to reacquaint the self with the self? In fact, there's a quote from the Bhagavad Gita. Who's read the Bhagavad Gita twice in Arabic? Okay. Okay, so in the Bhagavad Gita, it talks about meditation. In a deep meditation, like a candle in a windless place, the self reveals the self to the self. So it's through meditation, Raj Yoga meditation, that we begin to reveal the self to the self, so that I don't have to tell you or give you drugs to make you feel peaceful, powerful, loveful, etc., but that you can sit on your own internal throne, recognizing, realizing, and just being those qualities. So would you like now, in the last, how long have I got? 3 minutes, to do some emergency meditation to render you sitting firmly on this seat? Who would like to do it? Yeah? Okay, let's go. All the meditation we do, you may know this or you may not, all the meditation we do is with eyes wide open. Sorry about that. And the reason is very simple. When we teach you how to meditate, we're not actually teaching you how to meditate. What we're doing is teaching you to get into a consciousness that we hope you get so used to being in that you will take it with you into the rest of your lives. And if you learn to do this meditation with your eyes closed, it's really not going to go well for you on the A34 as you're driving home. So here we are. Just sit comfortably, take your dark glasses off, because if you don't, I won't know that you've got your eyes open. I'm joking, really. You can keep them on if you like. So I've only got about 2 minutes now. I want you now, very, very quickly, to imagine that you are in a cinema. Okay? Now, I know you all have a favorite cinema. Don't imagine you're out in the parking lot looking at the cinema. I want you, in your mind's eye, to actually transport yourself into the cool, air-conditioned luxury of your favorite cinema. You know, you've gone in, you've got your popcorn, and you walk through that corridor, and you pass all the posters, and you've gone in, and you turn an immediate left, and you go up those stairs, and you go to the best seat in the house. And I can tell you which one it is. It's 20 rows back. It's that seat whereby you neither have to look up nor down to see the vast expanse of the screen, which is one of those fantastic surround screens. It's the best movie theater you can imagine. So there you are. Are you all in it? Yes. Well done. Good visualization. Simple thing to do. Now I want you to just relax, imagine, visualize that you're in this cinema. Now I want you to do something a little bit tricky. I want you to imagine that the entire building, the entire room that you're sitting in, isn't where you thought it was on the planet. It's inside your skull. And it's in fact taking up the entire volume of your skull. And you, now the tiny you, are right behind your eyes, and you're looking at the screen, which coincidentally are exactly where your eyeballs are. You have now become the detached observer, because what's on the screen is me waving my hands around, giving you a meditation commentary. But you, the tiny you, is sitting so comfortably, enjoying the silence, the solitude. And you can see the difference between I and the screen. And look closely at the screen, and you'll notice that somewhere at the bottom of the screen you can see either the backs of your hands and the tops of your legs. And now you realize that you are not your body. You are the detached observer. And you have the opportunity in this mental position to ask yourself the simple question: how do I feel? And you answer that question for yourself as you're sitting so calmly, so beautifully, observing whatever's in front of you. Who am I? The being actually of total peace, total love, total stability. I don't need anyone or anything. I am available for all. I am myself. I am me. Congratulations. You've started Raj Yoga. Om Shanti. Now, I'm going to go and sit at that fantastic round table where, to great benefit for ourselves in terms of the old formula, what's going on, so how do I feel? It's cool. So what's going on? I'm sitting in a cool place. How do I feel? Great. So if you would like to continue this conversation, be delighted. We'll go over to sit around the round table and see what comes up. Okay? Thank you very much indeed.